It's coming in with the Chief Justice responding on the Ganesh Puja row after a lot of criticism over the Prime Minister's visit to the Chief Justice's residence. Chief Justice Chandrachud has now silenced the critics, and in his first statement on the controversy, he has called it unnecessary, unwarranted and illogical. In fact, he said that such meetings have no bearing on the judicial work and has said that we must have the maturity to understand that this will not have any bearing on judicial work, and said that we are completely independent as judges. My colleague Harish Nair is joining us on the broadcast with the details. Harish, there was a lot of criticism, many from the opposition as well, raising questions on the Prime Minister's visit to the Chief Justice's residence for the Ganesh Puja, the visuals of which are on the screens. This is the first time the Chief Justice has spoken on it, and he has called it an unnecessary, unwarranted and illogical controversy. What are the details of his statement?
Yes, that's right, Pratibha. When this video went viral, even some senior advocates like Indira Jaising had said that they had lost faith in the Chief Justice regarding the independence of judiciary, and said that the independence, the principle of violation of separation of powers between executive and judiciary, that has been compromised. Yes, and as you rightly said, even the opposition was up in arms, but the Chief Justice has broken his silence. He has termed the controversy over PM's visit to his residence for Ganpati Puja as unnecessary, unwarranted and illogical, and said heads of political executive normally visit judges' houses for social occasions, but independence of judiciary is so deeply entrenched that judicial matters are never even discussed.
He has spoken about the independence, isn't it? In fact, he has called it an unnecessary, unwarranted and illogical response to what happened. And in fact, he also said that this is a tradition that happens in the states as well, Harish.
Yes, Pratibha, he said that the PM and Chief Ministers do visit the residences of the Chief Justice and Chief Justices of High Courts and judges on social occasions like children's marriage or festivities, but he said, I cannot recount a single occasion where either the CJI or judges of the Supreme Court ever discussed any judicial matter with the executive heads of the Union of States, except for a change of pleasantries. No other matter is discussed. Too much is being read into it. And he said there is enough maturity among judges of courts and head of the executive.
There should be enough maturity is what he spoke about. Harish, my sincere apologies. I request you to stay with us because we have Mr. Rashid Ali also joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Rashid Ali, there was a big hue and cry over the Prime Minister's visit for the Ganesh Puja. The Chief Justice has now said that we must have that kind of maturity, and he has said that this entire controversy is needless. He has called it unnecessary, unwarranted and illogical.
No, Chief Justice of India will definitely give such kind of arguments. It is not, we are not making any allegation that there was any kind of deal between both of them. But you know, in politics, in a country like India, it is the question of perception. Prime Minister went there, he invited him, and then Prime Minister gave this publicity to about this puja. So, you know, important thing is that what message our Prime Minister and Chief Justice of India they wanted to give to this country. You know, people will think that they are so close. Prime Minister is being invited by Chief Justice for puja. So it raises so many questions.
But why does it raise questions? Mr. Rashid Ali, that's the question that the CJI is also asking. Why should it raise so many questions? Because he's also mentioned the tradition that this is not the first time that the Chief Justice is visiting a Prime Minister's residence or the Prime Minister visiting the Chief Justice's residence. It happens all the time in the states as well, in the High Courts as well. This is an accepted tradition that happens everywhere.
No, there is, it has never happened earlier. At residence, it was not a public function. It was not a function of in Supreme Court or in High Court. It was a function at his residence. It was family puja of Chief Justice of India, and Prime Minister was invited and he participated. So definitely people will raise this question that why Prime Minister visited there, why Chief Justice invited him. So Chief Justice is Chief Justice. So Chief Justice should be above all these questions. So definitely people are free to raise this question now. Chief Justice is making all such arguments just to save his skin.
Okay, just to quote him, he has also mentioned about his time when he had taken over as the Allahabad High Court Chief Justice, and he said that it was then that he got to know of a tradition that the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court always meets the Chief Minister after the oath-taking ceremony, where they discuss infrastructural issues. So there are discussions, healthy discussions that take place. Should that be avoided?
Discussions will be discussed at the residence of Chief Justice of India or Chief Justice of High Court.
Okay, so meeting at the residence is wrong. You continue to say that, Mr. Rashid Ali?
Definitely, it is wrong, absolutely.
Okay, you continue to call it wrong despite the clarification that has come in from the Chief Justice. Thank you for joining us. We have a reaction also